It's impossible. Josh wasn't breathing. Blood ran from his nostril. What it was more than he could imagine. The dark city was collared by a titanic wall holding back the swollen sea on one side and a blazing forest fire on the other.
Los Angeles, 2049.
Ooh-wee. Okay, well, hello people and welcome back to the official companion podcast for Mafia, Buffalo versus the Multiverse audiobook. I am your host, Cory, and I am blessed to be here again with my homie, the creator, Travis the creator, Travis Carlson. Say what's up to the people.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming again. I can't wait to dive into episode 2, Los Angeles, HologRAMS 2049.
HologRAMS. See, I like that. I saw what you did there. I picked up on it and I like it. So this is for episode 2. So there will be spoiler warnings if you have not finished or were planning on going back to episode 2. Do that now. Go listen, read the book, and then come back and join us because we are getting into it. I'm excited and I'm ready to get into this, all right?
A quick refresher on what this episode is. This is Josh and Josh's first adventure with the proper Buffalo Bill Wild West show in our story. And they go to the future of Los Angeles. It's sort of like a Blade Runner world, and they compete with the RAMS, Robotic Augmented Marines. And those RAMS had just won super collapse in the multiverse, which we'll talk about what the heck that is. And then in the real world, that was the Super Bowl. And this was the season opener. And it's our first glimpse, our big intro, so to speak, for Hollywood Diggs. Hollywood Diggs. And he makes quite the statement, as Diggs should. And that's where we're at. So let's jump in. Let's talk
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
So my first thoughts. The first thing, I mean, I've mentioned it before. Like, the sound design is so good to me, and I don't know why I'm so stuck to it. But bro, like, when you hear the like mechanical, sound effects, and then you hear that voice, like Los Angeles 2049. I'm like, oh! So like that again, that helps me be in this space as you paint this picture with your words. And so is it a program that does it? Like, how are you doing this? How is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all my voice. Like, it's what you hear in the audiobook that is words.
Yeah.
Obviously is let's say 98% my voice. And then for anything that doesn't sound like this voice right now is just pitched differently with Premiere. I'm not even using an audio specific.
Right. That is insane. The amount of voices that come out, especially in this episode, because this is the first episode where we actually get to a game. And so, whereas episode 1 was great for laying the groundwork and the backstory, this is like we getting into the games now. The references are like directly from, you can watch the highlights and pick up exactly what you're talking about. So there's a lot of voices, a lot of different characters coming into play. And it doesn't all sound like, oh, this is Travis being high. This is Travis being low. This is Travis as a kid. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds like different characters.
Yeah, good.
So outside of the sound design, man, like this episode, I went back and watched some of the actual game.
Sweet.
Because it is just so helpful. Yeah. So for those listening, the way I do it, obviously, I'm getting to listen to an episode right before we shoot this. So I'm kind of in it similar to you, right? I'm like, at an episode, we talk about it. So for me, my pattern is I'll listen, I'll watch the highlight, and then I listen again. Now, I'm not saying that's what everybody got to do. Everybody don't got to be in it like I am, but like I'm in this universe, this multiverse, right? So I watch it, pick up what I pick up on it, notice things. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Then I go back, I watch highlights.
Let me ask you, what time are you? If any point, are you looking at the book too, or is it?
So the book is always open while I'm listening. So both times, well, not always both times, because sometimes I'm like at the gym or I'm in my car. But my first listen, I'm usually at home and I got the book right with me because again, the visuals are just like I can paint it in my head. Yeah. And then for some reason, so far, the visuals have matched pretty close to what I see in my head, which is really cool. Is there a certain way you hoped viewers would?
I don't think there's a wrong way to do it because I think it can be just as fun to like flip through the picture and be like, oh, that looks like Stefan Diggs. I wonder if he's in it. And
yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, but they're I think my ultimate ideal candidate is someone who like is willing to kind of like walk through it with me and like really try to play with it, because I like to experience products that way, or entertainment that way, and I also try to make the world like infinitely deep. Like the closer you use your microscope, I hope that there is like not just like, oh, that was a cool idea or a cool fictional twist, but like if you follow the breadcrumb as deep as it goes, hopefully there's like a real world metaphor or a real world like reference that it's behind it.
Guys, this is too easy.
Bigfoot Phillips said over the comms as Josh sprinted into an abandoned supermall called Rodeo. It was the size of a catacomb inside. He scanned it for unstoppable rams, for a threat, for something. How can this be so empty?
You know about town? There's one thing missing from this giga city. Clear, great, advance.
Came the familiar cadence.
230 million things missing.
The opening drive of the Bills, they didn't lose a yard. They didn't get stopped once. They just cruised, and it was like, wow. Again, we weren't sure where the Bills were at that season. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, we thought they might be a great team, but it wasn't the Bills that we know of today with an MVP.
Yeah, no.
Playoffs are automatic. It was like...
It was still new.
Yeah, and then we opened the season against the Super Bowl champions. That's an obvious, like, well, that'll be a loss.
Right.
And we don't get stopped. We don't lose a yard on the first drive. So that felt important to try to convey. This whole multiverse is a mirror to real life.
Yeah. I'll just say it because it's true. Like last night, I was talking to Courtney, and I was explaining, like, I think Travis might be a genius because the storytelling is something I do myself. And it's probably the ADHD, but like when you get stuck in one of these cycles, it's all you think about. And like you can create an entire universe off one idea, off one line you might hear in a song or something, right? So I'm familiar with that. But the way you took a game, a football game, and you're taking certain drives, you're taking certain injuries, you're taking certain things, and you're putting it in this world. You know what I mean? And it's not easy to do. It's creative and it's fun, but it's not easy to do and make it make sense. And so the way you're like, that first drive was easy. How do we make that come across in this cyberpunk world? You know what I mean? So like that's what strikes me as like so creative but so cool. So my second time listening, when I'm refreshed on what happened, I can almost place every single piece from those highlights and be like, that's what this is. That's what this is. And I can get those references. And it is just so dope. It is so dope how it happens, man. The story plays where Alan loses his blaster or whatever. And he's got to like punch his way through. And like I'm hearing that and watching like this man stiff arm, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's like, these are connections where I'm like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? 100%. Yeah. Okay. It's impressive.
Thank you. That's perfect. And that I'm hoping the audiobook will like allows people the chance to like experience the story. Like I've said it before, but like it's hard to read. It's hard to keep that attention and like let it come off, like leap off the page. And adding the sound effects and sound design is all just to like help just surf with it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And Josh marveled at the music and lights of the cosmos centering around Los Angeles, even if it was just a holographic recreation. Stellar nebulae swirled and micro quasars burst in blue and yellow colors of Los Angeles. Josh was miniature below this scene, imagining what a super collapse could even mean for his Buffalo Nation. And the hologram changed to someone he knew. 4-0?
So before we get too far into this specific story, there's a few terms that come up a lot. And so I want to try and get, like, here in episode 2, I want to try and get those out, because if those are known, I think it makes things easier. So one thing we talk about is it the weakening? So the weakening is one thing. Dignity is another thing, which I really like that. And then obviously super collapse seems to be what I would think is the Super Bowl. Like right. So can you just like kind of explain what those things are in this universe?
Yes. A weakening is a weak.
Okay.
WEEK.
Right.
Week 1, week 2, week 3. The Bills, week 3, will play the Titans. Okay?
Right.
So, but a little bit of wordplay, WEAK, weak, like someone's not very strong.
Not strong, right.
So there's a weak part of the atmosphere or the multiverse is so weak during that Sunday
There is a bridge.
that allows them, so, and that they call it two things in the multiverse, a weak or a weakening. Where,
Yes.
So instead of calling it a portal,
It's called
Yes, bro. Come on. Just everybody take a second to think about that creativity, man. Like, oh my gosh, that is so dope. That is so smart. Like the week, oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Yeah, it blows my mind. It does.
on dignity, that's also like a cheat for the audience and the author and everyone to also like kind of track points.
Yeah.
In a football game, there are points. We're not sure why or what they mean. They're just this made-up term to signify things getting better or worse.
Right.
And I was like, is that money in our society? Like, yes, I probably could have used currency, but I use the word dignity because, in a way, like a team's dignity is, I think, ultimately what they're fighting for. Like, when you win a Super Bowl or you make the playoffs or you miss the playoffs, your dignity's at stake.
But not just for the team, I mean for your city. You know, to be known as a city that is on a 17-year drought, it's not in good standing, you know?
You have no dignity.
Yeah.
And so that's important to them, and so maybe it's a very like on the nose direct metaphor to be like they're fighting for their dignity, and maybe that is what a sports team is doing for us at the end of the day. So dignity, you will often find it's being used as a way to wink at the audience of like, this was the score.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
Super collapse.
Super Collapse. I honestly wish I had a better thing for
Really?
Super Bowl. Super Bowl, I never was super thrilled with like the term Super Collapse or like what it meant. It's the most powerful thing that can happen in the cosmos is the star collapsing. So I was like, okay, well maybe a Super Bowl is like the entire universe centers around this one city or this one world, and everything's sort of a nebulous super collapse is happening. And so what we just heard was Josh is sort of witnessing maybe like a short story being performed for him in the mall with holograms of the Rams in a super collapse. So it's just this awe-inspiring moment for him, and it's huge of the potential. And so many of us Bills fans have seen Super Bowls and, are all dreaming like, man, what would that be like? What would that be like if it was, our team's colors and the confetti? And so we're trying to give Josh the same motor that we have of like, okay, that's what this people need. This good people, as Tyrod calls them, like they deserve to have the light shone on them once.
Right.
Ram drones ripped overhead toward the Bills.
Enemy breach! Incoming! Griffith District!
The hologram actors above flipped from a musical trio singing "Good Morning, Good Morning" into a bodybuilder. I'll be back. Just then, a hulking Ram suit tank smashed onto the scene.
The Terminator!
4-0 yelled.
It's here.
The arrival of the Rams. And as happened in the game, we had an easy victory, but then everything started to seem like it was going wrong. So that early high, that little like bubble popped. And so, the Rams came in full force. The Terminator, Aaron Darnold was actually getting them. That's his real nickname. Like, again, it writes itself. So we've got obvious references to Singing in the Rain and the Terminator franchise. And prior to that, we had some call-outs to Chinatown and Westerns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As if in this, futuristic holographic Crokin core. So that's inspired by the owner of the LA Rams, Crokin. So like, I made it like he's like Skynet or Tyrell Corporation from the franchises. So like the big bad capitalist owner, the guy, and he would have just built SoFi Stadium. This is deep, but one of my favorite sci-fi novels ever is called The Three Body Problem, and in that they also just recently made a Netflix show.
Is it a Netflix? Yeah.
Don't watch the Netflix
show.
It's not at all I'm not usually like a massive like to read the book first. I know it's so annoying to hear that, but like in this case, the book is just like astronomically better and different. Imagine like you're a Harry Potter fan and then they made it into like from the people who brought you the Big Bang Theory.
Oh my gosh!
It's like that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
No.
Why would you do this?
Watching it. Anyways, a deep cut there is their world uses sophons, and it sounds so close to SoFi Stadium.
It does, yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's it. And they use a giant space antenna to send signals to aliens in this story. Von Miller's cyborg suit runs on a sophon network.
Okay, so that's what okay.
For the 3 people who've read Three Body Problem and also Mafia and the Multiverse, I hope you're excited.
They'll make that connection. There'll probably be more than you think, man.
Yeah.
A beeping droid bobbed its head. It stopped and tilted it with curiosity, moving closer to a trash heap of last year's pacifiers. There was music coming from them, or behind them, or one of them. It wore a Kroken 9, meaning it was a spy recon from the Gunner 9 RAM suit. And the music was a little bit louder now, and a little bit louder now, and a little bit louder now. And then the pile exploded into 200 directions. Oh, look, laughed Boom Boom Milano. Ciao, ciao. Somehow, all the towering holograms of the city converted into the black and white Isley brothers. They danced, bopped, and belted, shout, everywhere.
One fun fact that I wasn't at the game, but our friend Rich Herbeck, you know Rich?
Yeah.
He did go to the home opener, and one of the things he said when he came back, he said that after halftime there was a fan vote for what song to play in the stadium, and everyone could text, and the 3 options, one of them was the Shout song.
Oh my gosh.
And there's so many Bills fans there that they spammed the fan vote, and so Shout was played in the second half of that game, and he said like it electrified
I could only imagine.
It got so loud, and I don't know how much that impacted the team, but in my mind it was 100% impacted them.
Yeah.
And that's just, for one, Los Angeles. You don't make that an option.
What are you thinking?
They were a new team. I get it. You're just trying to figure out how it works, but
I'm sure those fans were like, what is going on here?
I know. I wonder if LA fans who maybe don't know that that's our like anthem.
That's it. Yeah.
You're like, wow, they all know the lyrics.
It's like a musical or something? Is this the Isley Brothers? Yeah.
So that, without a doubt, I had to put that in.
But even the way you say it, a little bit louder now.
Yeah,
a little bit louder. Like, I was like, I know those are the references that are like, if you're interested in the book, or you want to get it, or someone got it for you and you need the audiobook, and you're worried about if you catch everything, there's certain things that are those lobs. Like, this is for everybody. Yeah. I don't care what level of fan you are. If you're in Buffalo, if you know the Bills well, like, these are for you. So there are references like that, where it's like, no matter, and we honestly should talk about like that, like the level of fandom you are, and like, what's appropriate or not appropriate, air quotes, for what that is. But there are some references, no matter what level you are, you will get it, and you will feel that same excitement as that person who's watched the Bills for 40 years and knows every detail. Like, they're in there for everybody.
And I wrote this, and I don't even remember all the super detailed stuff. But like, so I've got my actual copy that I did it from. But so within that, Boom Boom Milano, so Matt Milano is the one who kicks the droid with Monsieur Rousseau, Greg Rousseau. And that's because I'm trying to give them flowers for a fumble or an interception or a sack that was crucial at that moment in the game.
Yeah.
And so, like, honestly, that stuff's too deep. I don't know why I did that. I think because I was writing the early episodes in real time of the game, I'm like, everybody knows exactly what happened in the game. It happened yesterday.
Right.
So this is clearly the big sack that Milano had. 5 years later, it's hard for me to even remember, why I made it Boom Boom Milano to punt the droid.
Yeah.
Which
there are the people that know every single reference. Did you know that Christopher Nolan was actually going through this in his life when he wrote that part? Like, so they exist. And so even though you now are like, who knows, who remember it, maybe there is somebody who is like, I know what this reference is, you know what I mean? And so it's for
that somebody, it is there.
That snow ram whistle It's a Mafia agent, said Hawkeye Johnson, closing his eyes to focus through the haze of the space elevator. Who's still back there? Josh asked. Sang the Whistler target. Whoever it is, they have an opening. Josh of Allentown picked up the harpoon spear with the power cord attached. He listened again to the Whistler target on the move. Josh drew back the elastic onesie string like a giant bow and arrow of the Wild West. Give me one more indicator. Hey, Josh, said Motor. Yeah, Motor. What do you call a gunslinger without a gun? Now, Josh released the bowstring and the harpoon rocketed away, pulling miles of cable. A slinger.
Yeah, man, that's it. Oh, it still hits. Even hearing it 3 or 4 times, I'm like, oh man, it's the setup, beautiful. The line, the punch. Oh man, it's so good. That's so good. Something else I noticed throughout the episode, I might be jumping around a little bit, is the comedy really picks up. There's a lot of funny parts. I mean, there's a lot of funny parts, and so I'm wondering for you when you're making the episodes, is it what's happening on the field that makes you feel like I wonder what this person was thinking, or is it like this person in interviews and it's like, oh, I think they're like this, or is it just what feeds the story? Like how, because it's coming from different people. Like when we talk about explaining the pacifier and stuff like that, like there's certain lines from certain people, not just funny situations, but you're giving a voice to these people who we only know through interviews and through, you know what I mean, like seeing what persona they play. And so like, how are you choosing who's funny, who's not, or who's, you know, the straight man in the joke? Like how are you planning this?
It's a bit of just fiction. It's probably like 30% fiction, just like let's have fun at times. Yeah. And then it's 30% who are these people off the field, or what do we get from them in mic'd ups and press conferences and stuff. There's actually one line in this from a press conference where either Josh or Vaughn said the exact line, the best ability is availability. So I used that as a line that when they're in tension, like he's gonna mock him for it a little bit. That's coming from a real place. So yeah, 30% the real people, 30% invented. I don't know what the other 30% is.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, 40%. But yeah.
Sorry, who's counting? No.
Okay. Well, so on that, I'll say it a little bit because maybe, you know, we'll get there. But specifically, we talked earlier about the introduction of Diggs, and I think his voice is super specific.
The super spy sprung up as the Ram statue of 4-0 came down. Who was this? I just made all of you famous, Diggs yelled over the gardener's face. Especially Gunslinger's drama on that old sign. Mwah! Hey, Gunslinger! And you gave yourself the big closing stunt piece, asked Dawkins low. You know it! Snowman, the showman. And then Hollywood dropped the smile and matched Dawkins' low volume, suddenly serious. Or did you forget about me with Future Man?
When we get to meet him in this episode, it's like, oh yeah, that's him. That's definitely him. But even more so, to think about you saying that you wrote this while it was happening, because to write it now, how people feel about Diggs is very different than what it was then. So you're writing who he was then without the you know, the fog glasses of hurt or betrayal or whatever, you know, you may feel now. And so I do think that that's important too.
As a writer, I'm thrilled that Diggs was a part of the team. He's a great player, and he brought, okay, I'll say it two ways. As a fan, I maybe always wasn't the biggest fan of Diggs, especially, you know, when he came from the Vikings, he had that, the story was, he was kind of a problem in the locker room. He brought some like real like complicated passive aggressive negative energy, and it seems like they wanted to get him out bad enough that they were willing to like, you know, make a big trade mid-season, mid-contract. So that you come in with that, and then he's like everybody's best friend. And like, so as a fan, you might be like, okay,
yeah, what is,
I'll suspend, you know, my, you know, I won't judge early. hopefully he turned a corner. That's great. And everyone says that he did. But from a character point of view, like what a complex relationship that is.
Yeah.
He seems to be going hard, with Josh and Dawkins becoming like BFFs, the cover of Nickelodeon magazine. Like,
I mean, that's legit.
And yet there seems to be like this undercurrent of like, is he gonna switch to a dark place the second something doesn't go right?
Yeah.
I worked for the team, and I did get to know a lot of the players, which was awesome. And so some of this is all coming from what I got to learn there.
Yeah. Which, I mean, really gives you more than other people, that insight to be like, yeah, I want you to write this story.
Hollywood Diggs is a made-up nickname that I put on it. The reference being that, he just brings that glitz and glam and drama all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the good and the bad of that, like, fire. Diggs is so important. Give him his own flashy entrance.
Yeah.
And in this game, he catches a bomb. A diving catch into the in the end zone, and it felt like that was Diggs arriving that season.
That impact
was this thing. So I'm like, all right, that will be his arrival.
Yeah.
And isn't it appropriate that maybe Diggs isn't hanging out at the campfire with everybody else right before the season starts?
Yeah.
He's out doing something else because that's so Diggs.
Yep.
He laughs and he laughs and then he laughs some more, and you're like, he's laughing a lot. Is he, what's he up to? It's the proper way to set the stage for what the relationship will become, and not that I knew at the moment that I typed those words because we were in real time with the season, but we knew enough about Diggs at the time to know exactly that's who he was at the moment.
Yep.
And then we'll see. I mean, we're still several weeks away before the Thanksgiving hug that people are like getting on T-shirts. It's like this meme of like, hug your wife the way Alan hugs Diggs, the hand on the head, tears in the eyes.
Yeah.
And that's all there. And then there's also this is the season where Diggs is shouting on the sidelines with his hands up, screaming at Josh. And Josh has got his head down. So it's Hollywood Diggs.
Yeah, that's him. That is... Yeah.
The Bills laughed and sang marching Mafia tunes. The weakening season had begun. You do realize, Diggs, that while you have shown all the realms we took a powerful victory, you've also placed a target the size of Wyoming on our backs to come and get the freshest dignity in the multiverse. And I won't let a target so small stop us.
And the Bills win. The Bills beat the, I wouldn't say unbeatable, but they beat the amazing Rams.
Yeah. It's a statement game, and it's a statement for these guys, but okay, the Bills are here, and everyone's watching. That's why Diggs broadcast it to everyone.
Right.
Because it was opening night. The entire NFL community was watching that game.
This meant everything.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and that comes to a close this episode, but I'm interested to know where we go next. So we had the Wild West, and a complete transition to the future of 2049, I think it is. And so I'm excited to see where we go next, because next is the Titans? The Titans.
And so that'll be a home game, and so we'll have a chance to see, what the adventure's like when it's set actually in the Buffalo Nation, but an opponent comes there.
Yeah.
And tune in next week.
So we appreciate you all for listening. I've been Cory with my man, Travis the Creator. And we can't wait to talk to you next time right here on the companion podcast for Mafia, Buffalo versus the Multiverse. If you want your own copy of Mafia, Buffalo versus the Multiverse book or audiobook, you can find it online at panamfilms.com.